Hey, this is just a snippet from our podcast, but if you want to catch the full episode, that'll be on YouTube, and the extended version will be on our Patreon. All right, it's time to dive in to one of the greatest games of the year. Holy moly, the highest reviewed game of the year so far.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Nice.
Beat out Monster Hunter by 1 point. It's got like a 92 or something. I think Monster Hunter is a 91. That is Split Fiction from Hazelight Studios. Again, Bloodworth and I had the pleasure of playing through this whole thing. You can
we
watch.
stuck to it. We got through the whole thing in a few days.
Yeah, you can definitely.
This whole crazy game.
Yeah, so definitely check out that archive if you're curious about it. I'm gonna throw it to you, Blood, for your thoughts on this, because I got thoughts. I got takes. Holy shit!
I did the preview, and I came back. I couldn't stop talking about it with the preview. But yeah, it's just like one of the funniest things was like I was kind of catching myself doing it, but like we would go through this game, and like every once in a while it'd be like, Uncharted.
Yep.
It's like, there's
God of War.
It's the train, but the train's spinning now or whatever. It's like, oh yeah, there's like, God of War. This is what, because that's the thing. It's like we had some of those criticisms for like God of War. Mm-hmm. It's like where the big epic scale things, those moments, and it's like they're right here, and this game's got them.
In this game, yeah.
And then like. And like with the creativity and stuff, it's like, see, this is what I meant. Like Astrobot had a little headroom. It could have done more. There's, and then when we got towards the end, and it was like, the thing I was thinking of, like how Nintendo's talked about like the challenge of making like multiplayer Mario, right? And they've done it in 2D now, but they haven't done it in 3D. And it's like, well, there you go. There's
3D World.
This is essentially, you're right, but not the same way, right?
Yeah. I know what you mean. I love 3D World, though.
But
I won't stand for the 3D World erasure.
That's true. but 3D World has a lot of issues.
It's got some issue, of course. Yeah. Of course, I will acknowledge that for sure.
It's just.
I don't understand how you make this game.
I don't understand how you make this game. I don't understand how this game runs.
Yeah.
Especially, like, we're not going to spoil the stuff at the end, but the stuff at the end is just like, what the freak? This should not be possible, dude. It should not work.
That's something I want to talk about, too. We've been talking about tech on this episode, so I feel like it's relevant. I'm a tech enthusiast. Everyone always just thinks graphics. Oh, tech graphics. I don't care about graphics. I don't care about graphics. But, like, the technology used in this freaking video game makes for a better video game because of the tech. Like, that stuff in the finale could not be possible if it weren't for tech. So I will always preach that tech absolutely matters for video games so much. And it's not just visuals, it's actual gameplay. And that is on display in full force in Split Fiction.
Yeah. And like, this game ran well the whole time. Like, I don't recall like anything I would call a bug, really.
No.
Like I
think my character like got in the wall a little bit, like maybe one time, like who cares, whatever.
So there was like one time where like we had like a ball of yarn and just like because it was being rendered in both of our games, right? Like on my side, the ball of yarn had completely been unraveled, and on yours there was like a little bit left, and like chat was yelling at me. It's like there's still more left on the ball, and like no, there's not. I didn't realize until after the fact that like, oh, what you could see was different than what I could see.
Some weird under the hood stuff there.
But it's one of the things that I think is interesting is that you have this take that like, oh, you would want some collectibles and stuff like that.
Only on a second playthrough.
That's interesting. But I think there's like a level of like they do have their little secrets, little spots to find, little things to play with, without bogging it all down.
Totally. The pacing is ridiculously perfect, and all of those moments usually result in a trophy, which is fun. It's like, okay, this feels like we can interact with this location as like just a total side diversion, and then it almost always ended in like, oh, we got a trophy because of that. Like, so that's fun. It rewards you in that way. I love those moments where it's like we just do a big huge thing. And it's like, okay, let's just chill out. Let's just vibe out and like breathe in this area and, you know, swim in the swimming pool.
Yeah, because you get a lot of these like really like high and intense chase sequences and stuff like that where it's just very, you know, reaction-based gameplay. And then you get into like this like little Halloween wizard town, and it's just like shops on both sides of the street, and like, what's this thing do? What's that thing?
It's
do?
unbelievable.
What's this over there?
It's
many things to see.
Yeah, I remember saying the same thing about It Takes Two, where it's like, wow, they introduce a mechanic, and then they have like 10 ways that mechanic is used.
Right.
Split Fiction now is that, but even more so. I mean, there are so many different mechanics, and all of them are used in so many creative ways. Like, I just think of, you know, the guns you get later, and just, you know, turning into little, turning into things.
Yeah, because with the Contra, like,
just,
section, so, like, you have your, like, you know, just your normal, like, machine gun.
Yeah.
But then you also have, essentially, like, a remote grenade. Mm-hmm. And you use the remote grenade to, like, blast apart shields. Mm-hmm. And there's so many different ways that they use that grenade.
So many different ways.
There's times when, like, you just blast a shield off at an enemy and now we can attack it. But then it's like, okay, it's like, there's this wall and, like, I've got to make a hole in it for Huber to go through, and he's got to make a hole for me to go through. And then, like, there's things where, like, there's something going across and we've got to, like, blast our grenades at the same time. Yeah. And it's, like, just one thing after another.
And the flawless design, another reason this game is so critically acclaimed, is how intuitive it is. Yeah. How easy it is to control, and how easy it is to fully understand exactly what you need to do at any given time, even though it is constantly giving you new tools and new environments to explore.
And the fact that, you know, you constantly need to talk to each other and, like, oh, I see this, and, like, and you just put the pieces together, but then it's like, it still flows. So it's this weird thing to where it's like, at times you almost feel like it's all just playing out, you know, in sequence, but it's like, but no, we're doing all this. We just are in sync. We're in sync with each other, and we're in sync with what the game is telling us.
Yeah, sometimes we didn't even say a word. We were just like, okay, I'm going to move this here. Blood's going to do this. I'm going to do that, and we're going to progress. It's just like,
And that's one of the wild things, too, is that so much of the game, each player has, like, the same, you know, kind of basic movements or whatever, but you each have, like, your own unique thing that the other character can't do. And that also means that sometimes you go, like, the levels are designed for two people to be going on completely different routes.
Yeah.
And you see that kind of early on, like, one of the more obvious ways where, like, you have the gravity shifting mechanic.
Yep.
And so, like, you're literally walking on the ceiling while I'm walking on the floor.
So cool.
And then you're, like, hijacking trucks and driving them over to me to jump onto.
Yeah. Love it.
I will say one of the crazy things about playing through this full thing from start to finish with Huber is, you know, being so close to when I did that preview event, you know, and like we jammed through a lot of the game in 3 hours.
It's crazy.
But they were skipping us around, and now to see the fullness of it all is like, oh, they were really skipping us around.
Yeah.
Like, there's just like whole sections of these levels that I hadn't seen yet. And then, you know, some of the stuff I had seen was like very, very close to the end of the game. And like, you know,
they wanted to show it off.
When are we getting to that? When are we getting to that? Yeah.
They wanted to build the hype.
And it's just, but there was just so much else that was packed in between there.
Yeah. And then shout out, of course, you know, it is easy to lament the corporations in this industry, especially lately, as, you know, the layoffs have increased.
That's what this whole game is about, by the way.
Yes, there are some really good
corporate shenanigans.
Some extremely good commentary in this. So a lot of
executives stealing people's ideas.
Yeah, so it's easy to lose faith in this industry, but then a game like this comes along and restores that faith, because this is a game where you only need one copy.
Right.
You only need to buy one copy of this game and both people get it. And that is just like the most jolly, wholesome thank you. Like, thank you, Hazelight.
Platform this time too.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
So that is just incredible. Like, this is one of those games that is just like, it's impossible to just not be like grateful and thankful for a game like this. It really is a game for the players, you know, a game for the people, a game for one and all. If you just love video games, like, you absolutely deserve to play this and should play this game. This is the highest possible recommendation.
Yeah, I will say for people that love video games, because this is a challenging game at times, especially when you look at the bosses and stuff like that, which are some great freaking bosses.
As much as I tried it with It Takes Two, it's like, yo, this is not baby's first game. Like, this is like, yeah, there's a lot of mechanics. You have to control the camera and figure stuff out. Like, it is not the easiest game ever made, but it's not really like challenging in that sense. But
you did want to tell Damian about the Ice King, though.
maybe not. Maybe not. Considering
Remember, if it's a spoiler, I'm gonna be playing it soon,
yeah, so. Maybe not. Maybe I'm gonna. As much as I really want to, and I told Chad I was gonna say it like 100 times, but no, we'll let Damiani stumble upon that. The story is. The discourse I've seen around the story is that people could take it or leave it, but I'm gonna push back against that and say I was affected by the emotions. You know, I think sometimes it's like,
I think
how do I explain this?
I think it does go into like the intentionally cheesy stuff, for sure.
But it's wholesome as hell, and I feel like it's so easy to like find people who have been lucky enough to never experience loss, because there are people out there that just like, wow, lucky. Haven't really felt that much loss in your life. Like, this game is about confronting that. That is the main theme in my eyes. Obviously, there's like the corporation plot line, but it is a game about just like the raw emotions, which I'm always so down for, dude. Give me these like simple, relatable human stories. Like, that stuff affects me so hard. And I really think it gets there. Like, sometimes the cutscenes were maybe a little long-winded, like here and there.
But it always there's a lot to set it up at the beginning, for sure. But then,
they always felt necessary and meaningful in the end. Like, it gets there in the end. I will say that. So, yeah, I like the story as well.
Yeah,
the whole package. I know the other allies haven't really played this yet. What are y'all waiting for? That's my question. What are y'all waiting for?
Well, Damiani's waiting for a stream specifically.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll be starting it Saturday.
Excellent. So. How about in there? Isla, Gabby, Dawn, you gonna play Split Fiction?
Yeah, I'm gonna play it with me wife.
That is so jolly, so wholesome.
This is blocking my face. I realized that the two characters kind of look like me and my wife. But then I was saying to Gabby, but I wear a red leather jacket, so now I'm conflicted because I should play as the white blonde girl. But I wear a red leather jacket, so what do I identify with more? Probably the jacket, but who knows?
Hell yeah.
Gabby's gonna play it with Jason, but that's later.
So wholesome. Yes, find your person. Find your person to play Split Fiction with.
But that's the thing, Hubert. Like even just their faces look so freaking good, dude.
It's so good. Like, yeah, the graphics actually surprised me when we started to play. Right when we boot it up, I was like, oh, this looks good.
Yeah, and like the one of the things that I was really appreciating is that, like, in every one of these new scenarios or whatever, it's not like they've just like recolored like their outfits. It's like, no, like she actually has a very different design on her suit than her suit, you know? And even the dragons, it's like her dragon is different than her dragon.
So crazy.
And so much detail that had to go into all of that.
Also, shout out to just like streaming this game, because chat gets to see like both players and what they're doing. Right. You know, like when you're playing it, so like it sometimes
your brain
I would
shuts
not.
it out.
Yeah,
I don't know what
sometimes
you're looking
I wouldn't
at.
look at your
it's
screen.
Right there. It's right next to me.
Yeah, for so long, Blood. I was like, I'd be like, wait, what are you doing over there? Like, even though it's right there. So yeah, super fun. Unreal. Split Fiction, truly one of the best games of the year. It's crazy to think if this had come out in November. Would it have beaten Astrobot? Like, would it have been GOTY? And now it's a tale as old as time, coming out in the beginning of the year. A little harder to capture that GOTY at the end of the year. So we will see, because this might be my...
Keely Joseph Ferris ties run deep, though. I don't think the Game Awards proper will forget.
Totally. Yeah, this might be...
Autonom,
I think It Takes Two came out kind of earlier as well. I don't remember exactly when. But it wasn't like Q4, I don't believe.
This might be my favorite game of theirs. And what a run. Holy crap. I know Brothers was just Joseph Ferris, but in terms of Hazelight with A Way Out and It Takes Two and now Split Fiction, I mean, that is an incredible 3-game run right there. That is nuts.
Yeah.
This truly feels like the culmination. And I remember saying that after It Takes Two. I was like, wow, this is the culmination of this formula, this format. And then they make this game, and I'm like, wow, wait, now this is the culmination. Like, where do you even go from here, Hazelight?
Right.
No idea.
You think they'll keep making co-op games like this?
Yeah, I don't know. That's my question.
It's the wild thing about it is that just that continual pace of like, what is happening now?
Yeah.
What is happening now? Like, from both like thematically and the scale of things and the just changes in the gameplay. It's just crazy that they got all of these ideas into one thing.
Yeah, and shout out to the boss fights. Definitely there will be at least one boss who makes it on our best boss fights of the year.
One of the boss fights toward the end where it's like we really had to co-op.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Damiani, dude, a lot of AoEs, dude, MMO strats.
True.
Damiani, there was literally a boss fight where I moved the camera just like fully up to look like down at the arena. I'm just like, okay, I'm playing an MMO right now. Yeah.
There you go. That is how you do it. That is the way.
But yeah, this part where you're flying the ship and I was shooting.
So cool. It's so
I like how smoothly it goes from one thing to the next.
Yeah.
It's unreal. It's unreal, Isla. Holy crap.
To tell you the truth, like I wasn't overly, like I assumed that this game would be really solid, but I wasn't overly interested until I saw this gameplay right now with like the double jump air dash.
Double jump, you gotta have a double jump air dash.
All right, we got a video game here. I'm in.
Double jump air dash to a grapple also.
Hell yeah.
It's one of the best things in video games. I love it. Yeah, Split Fiction. So generous. Thank you, Hazelight. Seriously, I'll clap for that. One copy, you get two. Buy one, get one free, baby.
I love that. Dude.
Unbelievable.
That's so good.
So good. So good. Your move, Rockstar.
Right.
What do you want Rockstar to do?
Well, no, because just the rumors of the $100 price for
The first copy is $100, and then you can get a second copy for $340.
So great. All right. Yep, Split Fiction. Again, check out our full playthrough. That is archived. That is ready to go. Check it out. Or play it yourself and then watch it. If you like this conversation, become a $5 and up patron. You get ad-free cuts, extended cuts, all of the cuts, and you get to get into our Discord and more. Patreon.com/EasyAllies.